So, yesterday I made a really difficult decision about my travel plans for this year. Um, because in addition to this one coming up in a couple weeks, I also had um, a trip to Scandinavia that I was going to take in November. You see, work is sending me to Copenhagen. And because I'm already going to be there, I had plans to take a train to Stockholm, spend a couple of days in Stockholm, then the train to Oslo, a couple of days in Oslo, and then do what's called the Norway in a Nutshell tour up through southern Norway from Oslo to Bergen with a stop in Flan along Flam. I can never remember. I have to look it up and look at but I've been thinking about it, and everything that I've been reading and watching, everything says to not go in November. And I will be there in mid November. And I started going, as it is, the trip is going to be twice as long as it would have been almost any other time of year because of the daylight situation. Because I'll be taking the train during the day so I can, see scenery, but then I'll get to where I'm going and have a short amount of daylight left to then explore the city. And I will want to explore during daylight. So staying overnight, then exploring the city the next day, and then I have to stay another overnight to then take the train the next day. And on top of the daylight situation, on top of the weather situation, the weather is going to suck in mid November. And on top of it being shoulder season, so quite a lot of things that I might want to do are going to be closed, um, or limited, or just whatever. And so I'm like, all right, this is going to be an extremely expensive trip. Even though it's kind of off season, it's still going to be expensive. How much does the expense balance the enjoyment? That's generally how I decide for trips like this, for, you know, and I decided that the enjoyment of it was not going to be worth the expense of it. I would still enjoy myself, but I could enjoy myself more another time. So I decided to cancel that. I might still go to Stockholm because, you know, staying in one spot, one city, big, city, it's still going to be amazing. So I might still go to Stockholm for a couple of days. But while I was thinking about that and considering that concept of enjoyment versus expense, I started thinking about the trip I've got to Denver with to visit my little brother. And we had dinner reservations at this really good, kind of fancy steak restaurant. And I was thinking enjoyment versus expense. I really love and enjoy really fancy, really amazing meals like that. It's not my brother's scene. And he made the reservation for me. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, if one person only is is who is excited about this, and we'll both enjoy the food, mind you, but I started thinking, I'm like, let's instead do something more flexible. Um, like, we're going to be going and doing something else that day. And we would have to go back to the hotel and change, for something, you know, appropriate for that restaurant. And very specific must be there at this time. So I was like, let's cancel that reservation and let's be flexible. Let's be where we are. And when we get hungry, let's say, all right, let's find a place near here that looks good for both of us and is something that we will both enjoy in the moment, and that is something more in line with the vibe of this trip, because that reservation just, I don't think, suited the vibe of this trip, which was like train and bouncing around with my brother and going for a drive and more trains, and right in the middle of it, fancy dinner. Yeah, it just didn't feel right. So, talked to my brother. He's going to cancel the reservation, and we are going to be chill and fun and spontaneous, which is more in line with who both of us are. So, I am now I am really glad I made both of those decisions regarding my travel this year, and I cannot wait to talk more about my trip that's coming up because I've got so much I want to say. And I am going to do that in a couple of days when my trip is 1 week away. So I will talk to you then.